this video, we're gonna show how to describe a line graph by Regina Aranda, Renata Covarrubias, Adriana Pavon, and Valeria Chanona. A line graph is a graph which uses lines to connect individual data points that display quantitative values over a specified time interval. Use data point markers that are connected by streamlines to aid in visualization. In this video, you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The line graph below shows changes in the amount of the type of fast food consumed by Australian teenagers from 1975 to 2000s. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words.
Now let's see the structure to give a correct answer. It consists of an introduction and a body. You should never add the conclusion. The first paragraph consists of the introduction. Second, the body. At the body, we need to give a general overview, and lastly, a first feature and second feature. At the introduction, we always need to show what the graphic shows, give information from the topic, and paraphrase it. Remember to not change the type of reference you is using in the example because it will lose meaning. Always be specific and clear giving the information from the graph. And here is the answer. The line graph illustrates the consumption of pizza, fish, and chips, and hamburgers per year by Australian teenagers from 1975 to 2000.
Now, we are going to start writing our body paragraphs. First, the overview. The overview contains key information from the graph, so there should be no dates, numbers, or percentages. We only need to write the general trends we can see on the graph. Find from 2 to 4 key features in your graph. Here, we said pizza and hamburger consumption was increasing, and fish and chips had a downward trend. Use synonyms to avoid repeating words. Also, use time connectors. Here, our answer was, the consumption rates of pizza and hamburgers showed a significant rise over this period, while the number of fish and chips consumed by the teenagers in Australia had an important decrease. Here you can see we used synonyms when we said consumption rates of pizza and hamburgers and number of fish and chips consumed.
You need to give the specific details. It is a good idea to divide your part of writing where you give the details into paragraphs. And for this, you need to group your data by some feature, for example, by country or by similar trends. The second option is more logical as it follows our overview. So for this, you could describe the increasing trends in one paragraph and the decreasing trends in another paragraph. When you write the first paragraph, you should start by describing the data. For example, here I wrote in 1975, the amount of pizza and hamburgers consumed per year were nearly 10% and 50% respectively. After that, I described how the numbers change over time, providing the percentages in some important points.
For example, hamburgers rate increased sharply during 1985 and exceeded fish and chips rate, reaching almost 85 hamburgers and continued to rise less drastically until the year 2000, reaching almost 100 hamburgers consumed per year. Pizza also managed to rise over this period of time, exceeding the amount of fish and chips consumed in 1990 with over 80 pizzas and staying steady until 2000. Also, for your featured paragraphs, remember to always support your information with data. Write all the paragraph in the same tense. Use superlatives to highlight a big change, and don't forget to write the amount of change, how big or small was before. Here we said, in 1975, fish and chips were consumed more than pizza and hamburgers, having a number of 100 eaten per year, but this number went down to a little over 80 in 1980, to then increase again to almost 100 in 1985, and finally go down dramatically until the year 2000, where the final number was almost 40 fish and chips consumed per year. Being this the lowest consumption, rate in this period.